Well, hello. Welcome to EDUT 501 week 5. So, depending on when you're watching this may or may not be Easter break. Easter break is March 30th to April 5th. So, if it is March 30th and you're watching this is our break. If your break is, you gotta redo it like our school spring break is next week, and you want to try to kind of cut and paste where your vacations are to align, you're welcome to do whatever you need. Just be sure that this week, your discussion board, so starting April 6th is when week 5 starts. Your discussion board replies are due April 12th by 11:59 p.m. So if you do like a little switchy thing, just be sure that your replies happen in week 5, not Easter break the week between weeks 4 and 5. That said, I'm going to post this video up on March 30th, which is our Easter break, but also if you need to do week 5 earlier, this is here for you. So, welcome to week 5, whenever that may be for you. It is Google Certified Educator Level 1 exam week. That is case study number 3. You're going to show proof of completion as well as a reflection. That's what case study 3 is. Discussion board 5 is almost the same thing. Like, how was the exam? Was it what you thought? Do you feel it's applicable to an actual classroom or not? I have a few tips for you heading into it, and that's going to be the bulk of this video. So at this point, you should feel pretty comfortable and fairly confident with all the Google tools, all of the things we've been doing kind of on the side with like watch this, read this, practice this, has been leading up to this week 5 exam. Take time to think through some of the things that aren't the obvious things. Like if you're in Google Classroom all the time, you've probably got that locked in, but do you skip scheduling assignments, right? So like schedules for now, or like rearranging stuff, naming stuff, adding people to the class, adding students to the class, adding co-teachers to the class, things like that. Similar with like Google Forms. You probably have the basic of a Google form right now, but do you add a collaborator, right? Can you create a new sheet? Can you link an existing sheet? Those types of things might trip you up. A couple tips, like really into this, because I actually just retook the level 1 exam. Mine had expired and I was only doing level 2, so I'm like, let's do level 1. Make sure you're taking the exam in Google Chrome. That's where they really designed this to be. Make sure you don't have any other incognito windows set up, and then you're going to do an incognito window. If you have a second display, bring that up so you can get them kind of side by side. So this is like the I'm taking the exam window, and then this other one is the incognito window logged in as a student or as a teacher and did the task. So it'll say like, do these 4 things, incognito window, and then you do those 4 things. One part that was not clear to me is there's links of like, here's the username you're going to log into in the incognito window, here's the password for that username, and then here's a link to like a virtual machine or like a separate something or other. Ignore that one, unless you're on a school computer that's super locked down, in which case hopefully you have a personal computer you could use that's not locked down. The reason for that link, I took it last week and I'm blanking on the name. It's something like granola or Oreo or like some version of that thing. If you see that, only do that if you have to do that. That actually spins up a virtual machine. Then you log into that machine and it's like Windows 7 running at like 480p. I had a headache just trying to read the text because it was super pixelated. Avoid that if at all possible. Just incognito window on this side, your exam on this side, and this is username, password, done. I thought you had to log into the machine. Don't. Just username, password, done. on one of the, I think there were 4 different sections where you had to do that incognito window. You'll close that incognito window, new incognito window that will log you out of that account. On one of them, it just would not work for me. It was something around Google Forms. So I ended up closing it, refreshing my page on this side, my exam, incognito window again, and redid the whole thing, and then it worked. So if you run into that, and you're like, oh no, panic mode, I have a score of 0, just close out the incognito window, try it again, and you should be all set. There's other things also, like it won't let you move on until you've completed all of them. So for things like those little examples I gave earlier, if you don't do one of those, it won't log it as complete. So make sure that you know some of those nuances of like how you share a sheet, how you link a sheet to a form, how you can use an existing Google Sheet, how you can add a collaborator, which is different than just going into Google Sheets and then adding a person as an editor on that sheet. Excuse me. There's a few nuances there that you want to be solid on before you start that exam. For me, it was actually really quick between registering and the ability to take it, and then from when I took it to when I got the results. It used to be when you would have to pay for it, it was like 2 full days from when you registered to when you got the link. For me, it was about an hour. It might have been a little bit less of when you register to when you can take it. So for sure, like as soon as you're hearing this, if you've not signed up for the level 1 exam, do that first. You don't have to take it right away. Also, over our school's February break, I actually tried to take it, and when I registered, it marked it as failed immediately, and then I needed like 5 days before I could take it again. So something was wrong with that. Something like immediately was like, I registered and tried to take it, and it was like, you completed 0%. I was like, dude, all I did was register. So if that happens, if you sign up immediately, you'll find out if it did that weird glitch and you fail immediately, because you just didn't take it. And then you can sign up again like a week later. So give yourself time with that, because the timeline between signing up and the ability to take it, and then when you take it and you find the results, is sometimes close to immediate, sometimes it's a lot farther than you would think it would be. I think that's about all for this week. Hang in there, give yourself some time. For each of the big sections, I recall there being kind of 4 big sections. Each one of those is an hour time limit. For me, I mean, granted, I'm the instructor of the course, but those took me about 10 minutes each, not the full 60 minutes. So like, you don't have to have like, I have a snack here for my 4-hour exam, and I have like a 64-ounce water bottle because I'm going to be here for 4 hours. It likely will not take you that long, but it gives you that amount of time. For that weird thing with Google Forms, it did take me close to like 20-30 minutes, because I got stuck and then kept getting stuck on it, and then closed it, and then just did the whole thing again. And that whole thing again was like 5 or 10 minutes, but I had spent like 20 minutes. Like, it's not working. Why is it not working? Something is stuck. I did the thing and it's not letting me move on. It's not letting me save. It's not letting me click next, because it's not registering that I did the thing. But when I closed that incognito window, then I was all set. And that's it. If you're feeling particularly bold, you can take this energy and you're like, that was easy. Move on and start looking at level 2. It's not with this class, not required for this class. You won't get graded for this class, but might as well do level 2 if you're feeling it. Particularly if the level 1 exam went by much quicker. Register for level 2, review the things, and go for it. Or not. Either way, I won't know. And then the very last thing I have for you is that when you do pass this, you want to add it to all the things. Add it as a line on your resume, unless you're like way over on your resume. For sure, add it to your CV. If you have your own website or LinkedIn or like other like online bios, this belongs on that. This is something you mention in a cover letter when you're applying for a job. Google Certified Educator Level 1. If you're going to talk about that, might as well do level 2, Google Certified Educator Level 1 and 2. You can move on to then Google Certified Trainer, Google Certified Innovator. Try and get 2 or 3 of those, and it is an impressive thing. It shows that you know these tools well. For me, I do level 1, level 2, and Google Certified Innovator. I skipped the trainer one because you have to log hours. And so it's not that I'm working with teachers to train them or presenting at conferences talking about these tools. I don't want to deal with logging hours of training. From what I understand, like, it's not, you don't just submit like, here's my 1 hour video going for it. You're just like, I did an employee training for an hour. I went to the district level and did a 2 hour training for a thing. That's what the trainer thing is. It's just more paperwork that I'm over. And then if you don't pass, you still get credit for the case study number 3. You have here's my screenshot of I did the thing. Here's my reflection of I did the thing. You don't gain or lose points whether or not you pass the thing, but would encourage you to review what was off and then retake it if you can, particularly if you have a little bit of time, because there's a gap between week 4 and 5, and that gap may have skipped depending on when you're watching the video. Otherwise, you have 2 weeks for this. That would be cool. If not, no worries. You'll get it again next time. And if you did pass it, yay! Double thumbs up. Congrats on passing. And that is all for week number 5.